From Clarkwoods.com, this is Hardly Off Topic, episode number 110. I am Chris.
And I'm Steve.
And you're wearing a Super Mario Brothers 3 t-shirt.
I am. I got this from Dan a while back.
That was an interesting crack of the can there.
Yes.
Is it a vintage? Like, is it you know?
Yes, it came. Like they made these shirts.
Yeah.
When the game came out in extra large.
Power glove.
Because like they knew there'd be tons of sweaty nerds that would need a shirt like this.
Yeah. I mean, there weren't sweaty nerds back then. Is that what you're trying to say?
No, what I'm saying is that the average age of a Nintendo player back
the average age of the sweaty nerd.
Shut up. The average age of a Nintendo player in the year 1990, I think, was approximately, I'd say, 10 to maybe 13 years old.
10 to 13. That sounds right. I think so.
I think that would be around how old we were.
Yeah.
So I think we were the perfect market for it.
And we're still the perfect market for it, right?
Right.
I don't know. What are these kids today? What do they play? I
don't know if they play a lot of actual console games.
No, probably mobile mostly.
So, like, I mean, you were talking a couple of weeks ago, if not last week, about your kids and you playing games on the Wii.
Yes.
But you have two little girls, so it may be
harder to... Yeah, may not be indicative of the general population.
No, well, that, I mean, like, I know it's changed a lot recently. Well, not a lot recently, but it's like the amount of women playing video games now than there were back then is definitely way more balanced.
Yes.
But back in the day, in our day, you know, video games were something that a lot of boys played.
Yeah, at least as far as we were aware. The girls might have been playing the games, they just didn't
tell us
because it wasn't cool or it wasn't acceptable.
Well, it was never cool.
Well, yeah. No, my girls are probably not, although who knows? I mean, they play a lot of games on their iPads when they're not watching YouTube Kids or Netflix. They're playing a lot of games that I don't even know how to categorize them, except that they're shit. The games.
Are they like timing games where you have to like hit the button at a certain point, like to continue your attack, so you can get like 2 times or 2.5 times bonus on the attack for the round, and you have to select different characters, maybe some sort of Logia fruit eater that
I don't think I'm
the Yami Yami no Mi or something like that.
I don't think I'm familiar with
yeah, I don't know if you're
with that
what I'm talking about.
Yeah, no. So the most recent thing that my daughter asked for an in-app purchase on. I don't know if this is how we should judge what they're actually playing, but when they actually make a request through the parental controls to buy something,
it's usually something in an app.
Yeah, and maybe that means it's a game that they're using a lot. And the most recent one was a game theoretically about anatomy and physiology, where these animated characters have a lot of crap in their nose or in their ears, and you as the doctor with your finger on the screen, you brush the stuff out of their nose and their ears until their very engorged nostrils or ear canals are completely clean of yucky looking stuff. And my younger daughter asked me for something from that game that, as I recall, cost $99. It unlocked like all the stuff in it, and I was just like, no. I mean, even if it costs 99 cents to unlock all the stuff in that stupid fucking game, I'm not spending $1 on a game which is basically like pick this character's nose.
Well, there's a game for Nintendo it's any of the WarioWare games. So basically, they're really short, like 5-second games.
Yeah.
And one of them is to pick Wario's nose. And basically, the finger is moving left to right across the screen, and you have to hit the button right when it's like right near his nose,
right
so
up
pick
his
nose.
I mean, they also play. There was this great game that I loved that they got into, called what was it called?
Farticus.
No. What is it called? Oh, God damn it! Monument Valley.
What is that?
So Monument Valley, it's a puzzle game. I will load it on my iPhone, so Steve, you can see it here.
Oh boy!
But it's a puzzle game that's very reminiscent of the art of M.C. Escher and people like that. And so you're this little character. I think she's a princess of some sort. But you can also, I guess you can't do it on this level. Part of the way you get through the levels is by twisting the entire landscape around in order to make it make sense from a different angle. So something that looks like a bridge that doesn't connect from one angle, once you spin the puzzle, the bridge connects. So anyway, they will occasionally play games like that. They like Crossy Road and games where, of course, my younger daughter likes Crossy Road because she can collect all of the various things that cross the road and then get run over. And so they like Fruit Ninja. They're too young for Alpha Bear, which is one I like. But they play things, but they tend to gravitate towards things that are either dress up. They're rough approximations of activities you used to do with just like maybe a coloring book or maybe magnets on a piece of cardboard or something like that.
Remember color forms?
I do remember color forms.
Too bad they don't have that.
Yeah, no. What would
you could put your color forms on your iPad or whatever?
You probably could, but color forms on an iPad they wouldn't shrink or they wouldn't wasn't that what color forms did? They were
those were shrinky dinks.
Shrinky dinks. Okay.
What were I had shrinky dinks a couple of years ago.
I
went into the pool.
That's
that was shrinkage.
No, but what were color forms then? What I'm getting color forms wrong.
Color forms were just little plastic stickies that you put on like a picture.
Oh, okay, yeah, all right, got it. Yeah, so they have that kind of thing. So like they got a character on the iPad that's maybe dressed in their pajamas or whatever, and you put the clothing on top of that. I don't know. I think part of it is that I don't introduce them to enough cool games. Like I said, some of the games that I like that I've thought have been cool, they have ended up putting on their iPads. But generally, if they're just left to their own devices, they go out and they find a lot of the garbage that's out there in the App Store, which is one of the downsides of mobile being the place where games are happening. Is that it's not like there's no cost associated with putting together a disc that goes into your Game Boy or goes into your
well, there is cost, but
I'm saying that. Well, there's a little bit of cost.
There's no. You don't need necessarily materials to construct the game,
right? So there's and in some cases you don't even really need ideas. I mean, the number of
if you look at some of the
clones,
shit games that came out,
sure.
back when PC CD-ROMs first came out.
Okay, yeah.
There was some really fun and great games, and
right.
Sam & Max I always bring up as one of my favorite PC games of all time, and it was one of those first games that had a full talking version of that you could play through a game where everybody you're interacting with is speaking because it has a CD with it.
Right.
But there's also I forget. I think it's some sort of off-road trucking or something like that.
Okay.
I think it's one of those games that's considered one of the worst games of all time. And I think
we've talked about that.
Angry Video Game Nerd did a thing on it, and it was basically just the game wasn't finished.
Yeah.
And they basically just put it out there, and it's supposed to be a racing game where you're a trucker racing.
Yeah.
But you race, the race starts, and the truck that you're in. Yeah. Starts going, and your opponent stays at the starting line
right.
and doesn't move the entire race. And then you zip around, and you can go through bridges. Actually, no. If you drive over certain bridges, you just go into the ground because I guess they couldn't figure out how to program the bridge itself. So you're just bloop, And
so
it's
yeah, quality is a problem across the ages, is what you're saying.
yeah, I mean, and there's always been ways that like people have siphoned money out of children. I mean, like you remember sticker books when we were a kid?
I don't necessarily. Well, yes, I do remember sticker books. I remember
having a Thundercats one and just going to the grocery store and seeing those little packets of stickers.
Yes. Okay. Now I know what you're talking about.
And then just being like, you had to like get them all. You needed to fill up the whole fucking book full of stickers.
Yeah. Well, that was my grandmother's. Not necessarily complaint. She never said it with any real malice in her voice, but she would complain about the fact that with like Transformers for me or He-Man for my brother, that just when she thought she'd gotten the last one that would help us complete our set, they would put out a whole new set of whatever, of robot cars or men in skimpy bikini bottoms.
Like the Moss Man.
The Moss Man.
Marimo Man.
So I guess the industries out there have always found a way of fleecing children or fleecing their parents. But the thing is that maybe that was better back in the day because there was a cost associated with it. And now my kids, they can kind of maybe because
back when we were kids, we actually had to have physical money.
We had to have money, and our parents had to have money, even if it was a trivial amount of money. There was.
Yeah, I remember the stickers being like 10, maybe 15, 25 cents.
But with my kids, if my kids send me a request for what I think looks like a dumb game, but it's free, I'm liable to just go, all right, you know what? I'm supposed to encourage them in their imagination and let them kind of play with whatever they want to play with, as long as it doesn't look particularly dangerous in any way. So I'll just go ahead and I'll approve it.
Does the ESRB rate games on the App Store?
No, but Apple, I mean, famously, Apple has had at times they have, and I think they've worked on this over the years, they've had stringent policies about what's allowed and what's not allowed, but then those policies were never uniformly enforced, and sometimes good apps got rejected for dumb reasons while plenty of bullshit was still out there.
I remember Paul back in the day, his company or the company he used to work for made an app called Hot Dog Down a Hallway.
I remember that. That was, I don't think I can get it anymore. Because on your iOS app or whatever, iOS app store, you can usually go back in time and get any app
you've ever
downloaded. But if the company removed it for some reason, you can't. I'll have to check that out. I'm not on your Wi-Fi here, and my phone is not allowed to access the App Store.
Maybe afterwards we can figure it out.
So I'll have to go check it. Yeah, Hot Dog in a Hallway. That was I remember downloading that at the time and telling people, I was like, somebody I know that worked on this.
We should use that picture of Paul that I have for the Twitter picture this week.
Oh gosh, these kids today. They here was an interesting question. We were talking before the show about things we might talk about, and I think Becky suggested this. What the hell are these kids called? That's like, so you and I are.
Oh, you mean your kids?
Yeah. What am I? So you and me are Generation X, right? Like you're kind of cusp X.
I'm very very close to the edge.
Yeah.
But I am. I
think we can claim you.
Yes,
as another close to the edge.
But you're less close because
Gen
you're
Xer.
older than me.
I want to claim you. I don't want those millennials getting their dirty.
Well, I do have millennial tendencies, I guess.
Yeah, I guess.
Because I'm friends with like a majority of the people that I know and that I'm friends with are younger than me.
Right.
Present company excluded.
Yes.
But so like there, what we were saying yesterday when we were talking about it, and I'm like, what? Because we were just walking by a lot of teenagers when we were out and about yesterday, and I was like, what are these kids even called now? Like, they're annoying, yes. And I'm like, is everybody that's born since like 1980 until maybe 2000? Wait, no. 2,980.
They're just all going to be millennials.
They're all going to be millennials because they were born slightly before and during the millennium.
I think until
of the 21st century.
I think until all the boomers are dead. I mean, don't you get the sense that
no, but the boomers were still around when we started.
I know, but what I'm saying is the boomers will just keep calling those kids millennials. Anybody born after our own kids are millennials, right? So like the boomers had us. Isn't that the idea? The boomers had.
So are we in charge of naming the next generation?
Maybe. I think so. I think it happens right here. I think the world has been waiting for horribly off topic to bring down the thunder on what this next generation is named. I think so. I think we determine it because I think the boomers probably were like Generation X. These guys are fucking.
Well, it was technically we were the how many letters is X in the alphabet?
I don't know.
That was 24. 24. We're the 24th generation.
24th generation. Okay.
Since we started counting, I guess.
I guess.
And so they're the 25th. So the next one's the 26th, which is half a year.
Okay.
As far as weeks go.
Yeah.
I'm trying to like.
So they're the half years. They're the half bloods.
Half bloods.
Half bloods.
They're mudbloods.
They're mud. Oh, that's a dirty word.
Yes, it is.
This is a dirty blood. He didn't. Good old Hagrid. He was so upset when he found out Hermione got called a mudblood.
Poor Hagrid. Did he die?
Hagrid. No, Hagrid didn't die, but Hagrid got kicked out of Hogwarts again because they thought he was letting the snake out of the Chamber of Secrets.
Yeah, but that was like the third
I mean, and I don't mean that euphemistically. I don't think Hagrid did anything, I don't think he was
if
ever...
If Hagrid goes in the pool, do you think he has like, shrinkage, but it's like normal?
I think it's not a snake anymore. Yeah, I think it's probably something else. I mean, that Madam what's her name from Beauxbatons. I think he let the snake out of the Chamber of Secrets for her.
Oh, good.
Or into the Chamber of Secrets.
Is her vagina the Chamber of Secrets in this euphemism?
Halfway through the euphemism, I think it changed. So yes. Halfway through the euphemism. I think that's a good title.
Sure.
I don't know. Maybe we'll come up with something better. But okay, so half through the year. Like that's where you're at. You're like Generation July.
No, that's bullshit. I was just spitballing there. I was trying to like if I had a dry erase board, I would have been writing
Generation Spitball.
Generation Spitball. No.
Because in the mouth doesn't count. In the butt doesn't count. Generation Spitball.
That's just like, never mind.
That really mystifies me that that's an actual thing.
What's 26? What is something you associate with 26?
You could rent a car, right?
No, you can rent a car at 25.
Okay. Fuck. Can't we just generation car rental?
The millennials are generation car rentals.
Okay.
We'll just call them the car rentals from now.
The car rentals. Yeah, it's not millennials.
There's nothing you can do at 26 that you couldn't do.
Yeah, I don't think that's one of Patton Oswalt's birthdays. I don't think that's the one you're allowed to have.
What?
26 is not one of the ones you get. 1 through 9, you get a birthday. 10, you get a birthday because you're into double digits. 11, 12, you don't get a birthday.
I got a birthday this year.
Go to school. 13, you get a birthday.
Because I was 37 in a row.
In a row. That's right. In a row.
So, what the fuck are they called?
I don't know. Here's the thing, and I'm hesitant to look it up because, I mean, what if we're wrong? What if somebody has already decided this, but maybe there's already a consensus on the internet?
Well, I'm going to look it up. You don't look it up.
I'm not going to look it up. All right, I have to just keep guessing.
Yes.
Maybe are they called Generation Y?
No. We're Generation X.
I understand.
Generation Y is what we called... Or we called them the MTV generation, like before we started calling them millennials.
Oh, okay.
We had a discussion before of separating Generation Y or the MTV generation from the millennials.
Got it.
So that means your kids would be millennials, and everybody we're talking about now would not be.
Would not be because they were born a little bit earlier.
Yeah, I mean, why the hell would we call people that were born before the millennium millennials?
Is it because they turn 21 or they become adults?
I turned 21 in the new millennium.
Yeah, that's a good point. That's a good point, Steve.
I became an adult prior to that, though, technically.
Oh, a story there.
No, I just
When did you become a man?
I didn't
Steve?
necessarily
Before the millennium, or
it was right around that time. But seriously, like, I mean, I screwed off a lot from 18, 19, 20, 21. Yeah. Okay. I didn't start getting things back on track and going back to school and doing all that shit until I was like 21, 22. So,
yeah. I don't know. I would, maybe you should look it up. Maybe you can find something that tells us why they're called the millennials and why the next generation is called Generation Shithead.
Generation Shithead.
Generation Shithead.
We should just call them Generation Goat.
Nice callback.
Yeah, I know, right? Well, go check out that one in the annals of history.
I think so. So, Generation Goat was the name of the podcast that John Martin and I did. I say was because we haven't done one in a while, and I don't know if when or if we ever do another podcast.
Maybe Generation Goat is not a bad name for these people. These people.
Well, we see. So Generation Goat. When I'm stalling, by the way, while you type things out. Generation Goat was
I'm typing with one hand, so it's not working so well.
What are you doing with the other hand, Steve?
Drinking.
Generation Goat was one of the band names in a screenplay that John and I were working on, where the band changed its name so often that they had a dry erase board on the bass drum, and they just changed the name. Generation Goat, I think, was one of them, and I don't think it really meant anything. It was just a cool name. But for me, that name always was about these two guys who were starting to get older, and it was about how we are old goats. Like I thought, I ascribed, I backronymed or whatever verb you might want to use that. And Generation Goat was something that applied to us. So I don't know if I want to give it up to my kids. I don't think they should be goats.
All right, so here's what the internet says.
Okay,
Generation Z, commonly abbreviated Gen Z, also known as I generation.
Oh, because they have the I things in their hands all the time.
Yeah. I generation.
Does it give the dates for when the I generation?
Demographers and researchers typically use starting birth years ranging from the mid 1990s to mid 2000s and ending birth years ranging from the late 2000s to mid 2020s.
Okay, so
Jesus Christ, how big is this fucking generation?
Still in the thick of that's the problem with Generation X too. Is that like Generation X? I think starts in the 60s. Depending on what definition you look at, starts early in the 60s. And then
I think 20-year cycles isn't that bad, but like maybe 15 makes more sense.
Yeah.
Like so maybe from 1965 to 1979.
Right. Makes more sense than the alternative. Yeah, I don't know.
So maybe and then like, Generation Y or they would be from 1980 to 1995.
Yeah. Okay.
And then the millennials from 1995 till
2010
till 5 or 6 years ago.
Then
Generation Z.
Okay, but
like
that doesn't
after that.
Yeah, but that doesn't work with the way it's been established. It's already been established that millennials are what? I mean, what is that same? What does the internet say about millennials? Like,
millennials are the worst pieces of shit in the world. Everybody hates them, especially
the boomers.
Sarcastic and miserable Gen Xers.
No, it's the boomers. See, John Roderick, who is a Gen Xer, he's a musician also. John Roderick said this week, he said
from the podcast Roderick on the Line.
Yes, that guy.
I remembered what he said from the past.
He says, we verified, and by verified, this is on Twitter, so I think he's talking about the people with the blue check marks. We verified members of Gen X can mediate some of the dispute between boomers and millennials, but
that's where the dispute is?
Whatever. Never mind.
Is the oh yeah, because we're apathetic. I get it.
No, because we're a Nirvana song.
No, but that's what our generation
was. Because we're apathetic. Yes. So, but I think the dispute is between boomers and millennials. I think they've forgotten that we exist. And there have been previous generations like that. I think there's a generation called the silent generation or something that's between...
Well, we were so apathetic we got forgotten about.
Between the greatest generation and the boomers, I think there's the silent generation. I think that's where they're placed.
Back in the 90s when we weren't paying attention to shit like this, I'm sure people were talking about us a lot.
Oh, yeah.
And how we were the fucking bane of existence.
But they've forgotten that we exist because
the greatest generation was before the boomers, and they were probably really fucking mad about us.
I don't know. They were probably okay because they were the greatest.
Yeah, well,
they'd save the.
But they were like,
world.
we're the fucking greatest. Fucking try, at least try, you fucks. They were probably yelling at us.
Maybe they were yelling.
I'm just trying to put it into perspective, so it doesn't seem like we're just bashing on millennials.
I'm not bashing on millennials at all. I think millennials are okay people,
except for most of them,
Actually, I don't. It's hard for me to think about who I know that's a millennial because I can't even remember what the fucking years are that millennials.
I think almost everybody that listens to this show is a millennial.
So it's people from 1980, 81, 82, 83 onward?
Yeah.
To like the...
To mid-90s, I guess.
To the mid-90s? Okay.
Or maybe even 2000. Let's give it 20 years.
I just finished teaching I probably just finished teaching millennials now. Most of millennials are now out of college. Is that fair? Like most millennials are probably...
Yeah, I think 95 most people... Yeah, I mean, most people that were born in the mid-90s can now drink, which is fucking sad. And like people that were born the year that you finished high school can drink alcohol.
Can drink. And well, almost all of them.
Yeah, except for the ones that were born in the fall and or winter.
Yes, yeah. Generation drunk.
That I don't think that's this coming generation. I don't think people of upcoming generations are partaking in as much illicit substances.
Because they can't afford to. Because the boomers fucked everything up.
Yeah, well. We can cast blame all we want on who the fuck is to blame for financial crisis, etc. But what I'm saying is that the amount of advertising that I think people are consuming nowadays is significantly less, and I think it's a lot more covert because it has to be. Like,
well, yeah. I mean, there's another tweet that I saw this week was, I don't even have to find the tweet, but yeah, people don't like advertising. So
you have gone on
and on
about how much you despise it. And like,
I don't think I'm alone.
I don't think people are like, oh my God, I can't wait for this. Well, except for during the fucking Super Bowl. Yeah. That's the only day of the year people are like excited to see advertising.
Right. Yeah, because people actually make an art out of it on the Super Bowl. They try to
puppy monkey baby was not a fucking art last year.
But did you see the fucking shit Wells Fargo pulled this week?
Oh no!
I don't know if I can find this. Wells Fargo.
You hear about this? Wells Fargo.
You hear about this? Wells Fargo. They ran a fucking ad. And I have 2 credit cards through Wells Fargo because when we had to buy things for the house that we no longer fucking own, that we're still paying credit cards for improvements on. When we did our air conditioner and when we did our heating system, we had to get that financed through Wells Fargo, and I'm fucking aggravated. The Wells Fargo ad says something. Let me see if I can find. Come on, give me the fucking ad.
Come on, dude, you can find it.
Dumb
Internet.
Douche nozzles. Come on. Oh, fucking
Is it a print ad? What's
going
on?
Okay. So it's a print ad, and it says, here's one of them. A ballerina yesterday, an engineer today. Let's get them ready for tomorrow. And the other one is, an actor yesterday, a botanist today. Let's get them ready for tomorrow.
What the fuck does that mean?
I don't know. I mean, I assume...
It means you gave up your dream to become a botanist so you could pay the bills?
I guess, or that we shouldn't be encouraging people to...
Work in the arts?
To work in the arts at all. Well, let's get them... I mean, it's fair to say that I don't make a lot of money as somebody with an arts degree who went into teaching, but I don't think that that... Still, do I want somebody to come along and say a writer yesterday, a fucking desk jockey tomorrow? I don't know. What would they say about me? It's
Well,
So
I have similar, I have some gripes with Liberty Mutual, the company I've had as my car insurance provider since I got my car, which was, I think, 5 years ago. I have not claimed any accidents. I have not, I got a speeding ticket earlier in the year that I bought the car.
Okay.
And that's the only thing that's been on my record since I've had the fucking car.
Okay.
Every year since I've had that car, they have raised my car insurance rates.
Every year.
Every year.
Wonderful people.
I'm just like, really? I mean, the only time it actually went down was when I moved to New Hampshire. And, you don't apparently, the same coverage in Hudson, New Hampshire costs, I think, $500 less than if I was living anywhere in Massachusetts, apparently.
Our MetLife policy went up we have car insurance through MetLife, and it went up $30 this year, something like that.
$30.
$30.
Mine went up $200.
Yeah. Well, $30, and we, as far as I know,
I am one person with one car.
Yeah.
Like, it's just like, and I'm like, well, you could have less rates if you had more people on your policy.
Oh, maybe that's what.
Or if you have more vehicles. And I'm like, that's shitty. You are penalizing someone. I mean, like, not that I'm actually single, but like, Becky and I have separate insurance at this point.
Right. Yeah.
So you're penalizing somebody for being a single person. Yeah. Like, and I don't want to feel like, I don't want to make it seem like I'm saying that single people are always like the ones that are singled out in these situations, but we kind of are. Like, we don't get tax breaks for anything. Yeah. It's like, oh, you aren't married? Well, then you're a fucking piece of shit, worthless scumbag fuckface. Yeah. And you get 0 credits for your fucking car insurance. Right. And the amount they raised it this year made me seriously consider not having a car anymore. And I'm like, that is something that I've never fucking considered.
$200 a month or $200 a year?
A year.
Okay. I was saying $30 a month.
Oh, okay.
$30 a month, it went up.
Okay, so mine went about the same.
Okay, yeah. So, it's...
I'm like, that is absurd. Like, I'm a person that has always loved the independence of having a motor vehicle that I can go jump in and drive someplace if I don't want to be where I'm at. Right. Which, it's not like I'm going off and escaping. I've never done that. Yeah. But it's just like, but to have somebody with that mindset say, this amount of money you're charging me to have this privilege is too much. Yeah. Is fucking is bonkers. Yeah. Bananas like bonkers. Liberty Mutual, fucking get with it, you fucking morons.
Yeah. Well, I mean, banks and insurance providers and these are traditionally the most tone deaf. I mean, who was it that
I keep on seeing ads on TV. It's like, oh, I got in this accident for Liberty Mutual, mind you. I got in this accident and they didn't raise my rates. And I'm like, well, apparently you didn't notice when they raised your rates every year prior to that.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, famously, nationwide, your kid just died. Like these, who works for these places in their creative departments? Obviously, not former ballerinas or actors. Who would have something to say about the bullshit that places like this pull. At any rate, so do we have a name? Generation?
It's iGeneration because everybody has an iPhone, apparently.
Yes. My kids were, they came out of the womb with iDevices. Yeah.
How about Generation Zephyr?
Generation Zephyr. Is that the next one?
Well, no, Z.
Generation Zephyr. I mean, that would make sense. Given our, you think Generation Zephyr is the one that lives...
Generation Zephyr is so fucking cool that they have like a sea prism stone cannon on their fucking arm.
I love those references.
I gotta get the guys that do the One Piece podcast to listen to this fucking show just so they can like participate in this game and get fucking drunk every week. I'll be back in a second.
All right.
I'm not even being subtle.
Not even being subtle. So Generation Zephyr, Generation I Generation. Yeah, I don't know. That's not terrible. It's not that much worse than the millennials. But
I'm gonna have the pumpkin beer.
Oh shit. Getting serious up in here. Now you swore to, because you guys said you had pumpkin beer in the fridge, and I was like, oh, pumpkin beer already, nope. And you're like, nope.
Today is Labor Day, which most people consider the unofficial.
I'm not wearing white, am I?
Well,
I got some white in the.
You're not supposed to wear white pants. I think you can wear a white shirt, and that's fine.
Yeah, I don't generally wear white pants because stuff can happen.
Yeah.
Diarrhea. Cha cha cha. How is it?
I've had it before.
Well, I mean, but it's a year old, right? It's not skunky.
It's not like I had it fucking like not in the fridge and then in the fridge and then not in the fridge. It's in the fridge all year.
So it can stay in the fridge all year? I don't know. I don't know how this shit works. I'm not a drinker.
Beer gets skunked typically when it changes temperature.
Okay.
So if you buy, like if it's cold brewed or whatever, like whatever fucking Coors says.
Yeah, ice cold brewed in the Rockies.
Yeah, right? So it should remain cold for the duration. So if you buy it not cold, then it's probably going to be a little skunky.
Ah, okay. Got it.
And like beers like Heineken, I mean, I some people really like it. I find that it like when it's not skunked, it still always kind of tastes skunky.
Yeah, yeah. What about your Gansets and your?
Just I will buy it warm typically,
right?
Because they make it warm, and then I will put it in the fridge and I'll drink it. But that doesn't make it any better.
Any better? No. But part of why it is bad, why it is great, is because it is so bad.
It's not bad. It's not.
I know there are beers. We're never going to get. Well, you know what? Gansett did like one of our tweets one time, so I shouldn't be disparaging.
Yeah, it's not bad beer, but it's not expensive, great beer either.
Right.
It's not Keystone. That is an example I'd like to use for shit beer, or like Busch, which is like the low end of Budweiser.
Yeah, yeah.
Like it's not.
Is Schlitz a beer?
I had a Schlitz. I had a fucking Schlitz.
Yeah. There was so much shrinkage. You had a switch. Switch.
There's a quote from Super Troopers. I think it is. It's give me 6 Schlitzes. I can't say it. It's not easy to say 6 Schlitzes. 6 Schlitzes. And the guy's like, we don't have that. He's like, fuck it, whatever's free.
If you want a Pepsi, you gotta pay for it, pal.
Yeah, this isn't Back to the Future 2, man. Oh wait, no, Back to the Future.
That's Back to the Future.
Back to the Future, the originals.
Yeah, yeah. Somehow he doesn't care. Like 2 days later or a week later, he doesn't care about it being Pepsi free anymore. Notice when he goes to Back to the Future, he's just like, I want a Pepsi. He doesn't ask for Pepsi free. That time in 1955 got him off of artificial sweeteners.
Well, the thing is,
just saying.
I'm saying is that Pepsi is going to market what is more important at the time. So Pepsi free.
1985 Pepsi free was the thing. He didn't ask for Crystal Pepsi.
He didn't know that Crystal Pepsi was a thing.
Oh, that's true.
It's not like he traveled to 1994.
He went right past that shit. Yeah. Like, would you like? He arrives in 2015. Would you like this new clear Pepsi? Would you? It's so clear we call it Crystal.
What the fuck were we talking about? Beer. Oh yeah, so I had a Schlitz the other night.
You had a Schlitz.
I didn't know they were still around.
Schlitzes.
I didn't have several Schlitz. I cannot alliterate when the word Schlitz is involved.
Enunciate, you mean?
No, alliterate. Because, like, if it's the same S sound and then another S sound.
Right. I get what you're saying.
I can't do it, apparently.
You can't alliterate
several
or enunciate.
Schlitzes.
Several.
I did not have, I only had, and then I
I
switched to Gansett after that because I was like,
how was your Schlitz?
It was okay.
Okay.
I imagine the Schlitz would be better in a bottle, but because it's one of those old school beers, it's gonna the kind of hipster person is gonna be like, oh, give me a tall boy a Schlitz.
You know what that reminds me is back when before we were remodeling this is a few years ago now, but my brother and I were home for Christmas, and we went out into the garage of my parents' house, which at that point was still just a big storage room. And there was a mounted picture an advertisement for
Pabst Blue Ribbon. I saw it.
Yeah, for PBR that we had hanging on the wall, probably from my grandfather's generation. And we were like, oh, when this room gets remodeled, we got to hang this up in here. And now, like the way the room is remodeled, it's a family room. It's all nice decor.
You don't want to put a Pabst Blue Ribbon thing up there?
Yeah, I don't know. There's a closet that's got all my dad's records and stuff in it, but that's kind of my dad's domain, and I don't want to presume to say, hey, Dad, you should hang that up there.
You could just sell it. I think you could probably get $100 for it.
Probably. I don't know where it is anymore. I think my mom probably has it stored somewhere, unless it's been thrown out. Yeah, it's possible.
Well, she should have at least tried eBay without.
Well, that's the thing is, my dad would like to eBay everything. So my mom's like in a losing war where like she just wants to pare down the crap that's in the house.
Yeah, at least she's not appling it down. Why were you about to drink on that one? That wasn't a One Piece thing.
I don't know. No. No, it's just a bad joke.
Yeah, it's really bad. And I was going to do it as Chip, like that character from Jim Norton, but I didn't. I chose to do it as myself and take the full brunt of the shitty joke that I just shat out of my fucking face.
You shat out of your Schlitz.
Schlitzy.
You schlitzed out of your schlatt.
Generation Schlitz is what we're going to call them.
Maybe that's what they are. Maybe you and the millennials will have like brought back PBR and Gansett and all that, and they'll be like, you know what? We got to go even deeper catalog. We got to bring back Schlitz, and Schlitz is going to be what the hipsters of Generation I are going to be.
Generation, like iPhone.
I know, Generation. They don't even fucking do that anymore. It's not called the iWatch. It's the Apple Watch. It's not called the iTV. It's the Apple TV.
Do you call this?
It's an iPhone.
Apple phone.
It's an iPhone for now. I don't think they'll get rid of it.
You still call it the pad device that is made by Apple?
No, but it's funny is I was going back through. This is not funny, but
it's wicked funny.
It's wicked fucking funny there, dude. No, I was going back through my blog archives. It's been my fantastically interesting project this summer to fix all the links and the broken images and all that shit in my archives going back.
You're doing that for the show notes too?
Fixing all the broken links and stuff?
Yeah.
Well, no, I was fixing the internal broken links, which there aren't any in the podcast.
Broken dinks.
Anyways, going back through, and there was a period of time when I was writing for geekforce5.com, which was where my blog was at the time, and I was writing obsessively about what we were calling the Apple tablet at that point.
What were you complaining
Nobody knew
about?
what it was going to be called. I mean, it was just a lot of blog posts and whatever. At the time, I was just mostly linking to other pieces, but it was constantly like Apple tablet. What's the Apple tablet going to look like? Here's the iSlate. That's what somebody thought it might be called.
Gah.
And nobody liked the word iPad at the time because they thought it reminded them of feminine hygiene products.
Well,
that was the criticism at the time. But nobody talks about that today.
No,
but
they don't. Because they're not using iPads to sop up vaginal juices.
Or if they are, there's.
But it's not really a juice. It's more like
really an app for that.
It's not a juice. It's more like a refuse. It's like, oops, you didn't have a baby.
It's not really a juice. Have you looked like real carefully at what it looks like?
I haven't. No, I haven't gone over it with a microscope, Chris.
Well,
but it's not. It's basically the woman's body saying, "Oh, you didn't have a baby again. Mm-hmm. Here's a bunch of stuff that's coming out because you didn't."
Yep. Well, if we get President Pence somewhere down the line when Trump gets elected and gets out, we might have to investigate every single period a woman has to make sure it wasn't a baby. Because if it was a baby, it's probably going to have to get a funeral.
Well, yeah. I mean, that'll probably solve a lot of the unemployment issues if we throw multiple women in jail for having periods.
Yep. Well, the things we have to look forward to under President Pence.
Oh, God damn it. All right, so let's talk about something fun for a change.
Something fun.
This isn't fun.
No, this is fun. I mean,
we were going to talk about last week.
Oh, no, that's not fun. We could talk about that, but if you want to talk about something fun, we could talk about this.
We'll talk about that. Do we have enough time to talk about both?
Yes.
Okay,
yes.
good.
Well, we'll talk about both those things, and then we're done. So this was an article that that Becky sent to me. I don't know if she sent it to you.
No,
or
she
just
showed
it to
me,
you.
and I was like, send that to Chris,
and
because I'll lose it or forget or whatever.
The title of the article, and I'm wondering if I should I just read the article and you can comment.
Sounds good.
All right, creepy details released in South Carolina clown sightings, which is just. All right, and this is an actual article coming to us from CBSNews.com.
CBSNews.com.
From Greenville County, South Carolina.
So that's where Shaggy 2 Dope and Violent J moved after they moved out of Detroit.
There's a man-made trail winding through the woods near the Fleetwood Manor apartments, leading to an abandoned home on the edge of a pond. Children say clowns live there. Police in Greenville County in northern South Carolina haven't been able to substantiate the children's claims, but a police report from the first clown sightings on August 21st...
You need to sound more like a newsman reading this.
I'm not doing that?
No, you got to do it a little bit better.
All right, hold on. Police in Greenville County, northern South Carolina. All right, hold on. What do you?
Give me it. I'll show you.
All right, you do it.
Where are you? Police in Brownville.
It's right there.
Brownville.
Granville. Whatever.
Where is that? Okay, I got it.
You got it. All right.
Police in Greenville County.
That's what I was doing.
No, you weren't. In northern South Carolina, haven't been able to substantiate the children's claims, but a police report from the first clown sightings on August 21st reveal a suspicious character dressed in a circus clown attire and white face paint enticing children to follow him or her into the woods.
A woman told the responding deputy that her son had, quote, seen clowns in the woods, whispering and making strange noises, unquote, at around 8:30 p.m. that night, according to the report, which was obtained by 48 Hours Crime Cider. She said the boy led her to where he saw the clowns, and then she also saw them, quote, flashing green laser lights before they ran away into the woods, according to the report.
So somebody actually saw the clowns that wasn't a child.
Apparently, this is the one of the moms, the woman who responded, told the responding deputy. Around that same time, the woman's older son reported hearing chains and banging on the front door of their residence. The deputy investigating the case said another woman at the same apartment complex said she saw a clown outside at around 2:30 a.m. that morning. The, quote, large-figured clown with a blinking nose, standing under a post light near the garbage dumpster area, unquote, waved at her, and she waved back.
Isn't this like, maybe this is like some sort of like improv everywhere?
Maybe.
Like, you know, where they're just trying to scare the shit out of everybody in a community?
I guess according to the suspect did not approach her or harm her. Let's see. Several children in the area told police clowns had displayed large amounts of money in an attempt to lure them into the woods.
Or were they like fanning it out like fucking, or just
know,
holding
just
it like
raking
just like
it
a
rain.
giant money fist
Into the woods. You're welcome. If you know that song.
Thank you.
The children said they believed the clowns lived in a house located near a pond at the end of a man-made trail in the woods, according to the police report. Greenville County Sheriff's Office Master Deputy... What the fuck? That is a long-ass fucking title. Greenville County Sheriff's Office Master Deputy Ryan Flood.
Office Master Deputy?
Office Master Deputy.
Okay, so let me just break that down.
Office Master Deputy.
No, first, what is his first title?
Okay, so it's Greenville County Sheriff's Office. Oh, okay, so Greenville County Sheriff's Office Master Deputy.
So he's the Master Deputy. He's not the Office Master.
No, yeah. But Office Master Deputy is...
He's not just like an admin at the station.
He's the Master Deputy.
Okay, I gotcha.
Ryan Flood told Crime Insider deputies investigated the house but found no clues. It's abandoned, Flood said of the house. Every time deputies have gone there, they have not been able to find anything.
I'm sure the clowns just hide whenever the deputies show up.
I would imagine.
It's like all the police are here. Like, we can't fuck kids if we get caught by the police.
They have not been able to find anything, clothing or anything else that would indicate someone lives there. Flood said witnesses have
Maybe
declined.
they're aliens, just like it or killer clowns from outer space.
I guess, or maybe they're like that guy from the Flintstones. I mean, maybe
the Great Gazoo.
Great Gazoo. Maybe that's
maybe
what's going
like
on.
Because of that, like the human race will eventually get canceled.
If that wasn't so long, that would also be a great. Flood said witnesses have declined to give police their names. I don't know how that works. So the police go and interview them, but they won't let their names be on the. Okay.
Wait. Okay, they couldn't find them, but now they can't get their names when they do find them?
I guess. I don't know. So 8 days after the initial sightings, police began receiving new reports. Ooh, there's a whole... Okay. In one of the 2 sightings reported on Monday night, a teenage girl... This is, by the way, this is dated August 31st. So Monday night...
Your brother's birthday.
That's right. In one of the 2 sightings reported on Monday night, a teenage girl told sheriff's deputies she saw a man taking pictures of kids, and shortly after saw a man wearing a black jacket and a clown mask coming out of the woods.
He went, tee, I've got their souls in these pictures.
In the most recent incident on Tuesday night, Greenville City Police responded to a clown sighting near an apartment complex where a witness said the clown left in a car before police arrived.
What you didn't know, that there was 60 other clowns in that car.
In another incident that was not reported to police, residents told WSPA that they chased clowns after kids told them the clowns were by the playground. They told the station that they saw clowns drive away in a dark-colored car. It is not clear how many...
Did they make the same fucking joke that I did?
Yes, in typical like journalistic fashion, they have to. It is not clear how many clowns were inside the vehicle. That the person writing this article loved that line. They're
like, fucking gold, dude. Anybody who reads this is gonna jizz themselves at how funny it is.
Investigators in Greenville County, where Flood said there is no history he can recall of unusual clown sightings, are so far stumped. To my knowledge, there haven't been any kind of circuses in town, Flood said. There's crazy stuff all the time, but nothing along the lines of this, to my knowledge. In all the reported cases, deputies and officers were unable to recover evidence that could substantiate the reports. Flood said there were no surveillance cameras monitoring the areas where the clowns were allegedly spotted. Flood said police have increased patrols in the areas where the clowns were sighted.
So, in some of the places the clowns were sighted, there was a giant circus tent, and when you traveled inside, it seemed like the interior of a alien spaceship, only very clown-themed. So if you went into a certain area, there was cotton candy everywhere.
Yes.
But in reality, that cotton candy was spun up, not sugar, but spun up human beings.
Spun up human beings.
That the clown aliens would...
Cotton candy is people.
Yes. The clowns would put a giant straw in and suck out the blood of the human being inside.
Mm-hmm. Yummy.
And then some of the human beings were put into big old balloons, which enabled the protagonists of the story to pop and rescue those particular people. But not the ones that had been turned into cotton candy. Those were eaten and killed.
Mm-hmm.
More at 11.
It's like after the film or whatever. More after what movie would they be showing right before that police report? I don't know. Or right after that police report.
No, but like they usually don't show movies. They show movies on the weekends, like on TV 38. Yeah. Jinx.
All right. Well, in other news, I don't know. Anything else to say about clowns?
In other news,
Cambridge's favorite bowling alley, Lanes and Games, may close.
So this is from the Boston.com blog. Mm-hmm. I'm just prefacing that so people don't think...
Or the Boston Magazine blog.
Boston Magazine... This is Boston...
Because Boston.com is the newspaper... That's where the Boston Globe
BostonMagazine.com, which is probably the
Well, we'll link it in the show notes anyways, which you can find at clarkwas.com/hot/110.
Yes.
Okay, sorry. Get that out of the way.
110.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I'm going to read this one. Okay. According to documents making the rounds online today, I only read a sentence. Okay. Legendary Cambridge bowling alley, Lanes and Games, may be nearing the end of its days, which is just a bummer because I am a fan, and I think anybody that listens to the show and likes to drink when I say things like this.
Yes.
I'm a fan of pinball.
Pinball.
And Lanes and Games is a place that is nearby that has a I don't want to say a substantial amount of pinball, but they have a good maybe half a dozen machines on any given day. Some old, some new, typically new. And they usually get the brand new machines as they come out.
Yeah.
So it's just like, what the fuck? Where are? I mean, like, I think the guy that owns them may be an independent person, but you know, when and if Lanes and Games closes down, where the fuck is he going to put these machines?
Yeah.
Like, let's just put them at some fucking terrible place that no one wants to go to because it's terrible.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean,
is he going to bring it to Woburn and freaking put them at the old Dave and Buster's?
Dave and Buster's? I don't know. Ugh. I've never been to either place, although I drive by Lanes and Games every day.
We should go there more often. Yeah. Like I don't know what needs to be done to keep this place open.
Well, they are. I drove by there today. Yes, on Labor Day on my way into work, which we don't have time to talk about. But they're still advertising fall leagues for their bowling. So they're going about their business as if.
Well, they better pay back those league fees or dues or whatever.
It's a league game, dude.
This is a very important rug. Okay, a developer
really tied the room together.
All right, so a developer, Waltham's Criterion Development Partners,
fuck those guys,
seeks to convert the property into multi-family housing with quick access to the Red Line. The development would be called the Residences at Alewife Station, according to documents filed with the city and then shared on Reddit. Why the fuck would they share them on Reddit?
I don't know. People like Reddit. Stupid people, but you know.
The project would also revamp the nearby Cambridge Gateway Inn Hotel, which is fine because that place sucks and no one stays there. The plans call for both the bowling alley and the hotel to be demolished. Fuck you. Just demolish the fucking hotel. You can build some housing there and keep the fucking bowling alley there so we can fucking have, like, both Candlepin and Tenpin in the same goddamn building.
Yeah.
They have a great bar area. They have great pinball machines. I don't know what the fuck is wrong. I need to go. We all needed to go there more.
We need to go there more anyway, but now we
really need to. Anybody that's listening to the show that lives in the general area, or if you don't live in the general area, come up and fucking go to this place so they don't fucking close it.
Yeah. Well, I mean,
I don't know if that even matters anymore.
Who knows? It might be completely out of their control.
See, I thought that the people that own that place owned the property, and so if they actually don't own the property, then they're fucked.
Yeah. Well, it says Lanes and Games owner Tony Martin Getty. Did you already read this part?
No, I didn't.
Declined to comment, saying, "At this time, I can't comment on it, but maybe at a later date." So he's the owner of the establishment, but that doesn't necessarily
mean he owns the property.
He owns the property. They do say that it's on, since it's on partially on a floodplain, it would need approval. So this is the sort of thing that would need to go through some sort of legal rigmarole.
So we have to just say that the amount of waterfowl that are currently in the bowling alley, we just need to bring ducks. We need to bring ducks.
Bring ducks into the lanes.
Bring ducks to the bowling alley and just
the games.
And the games. Why there's so many ducks in here? I like this place. It's really cool, but there's a lot of fucking ducks here.
A lot of ducks. No more duck hunt at Lanes and Games. That's
dun, dun, dun.
Yeah, no, that's sad. I mean, it's sadder for you than it is for me. I've driven by it for years. I've never been in there. So,
well, I mean, it's one of those places that it's sort of tricky to get to because it's in essence on Route 2.
Yeah, and and if you're on the other side of Route 2,
you have to like go like to the next exit, turn around, and go back.
Yeah, because I don't know how you would get there if you were near Alewife. Is there kind of a back entrance?
If you were at Alewife, you could just walk.
You could just walk. Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean that would be the most.
That's why this would be
the
residences at Alewife.
Yeah.
Which is not a place I would like to. All those places that have the if you lived here, you would be home right now are not places I would like to live.
I'm gonna disagree with you there because every time I've gone to Maine,
Okay.
I've seen that sign.
Okay. I'm just thinking about like urban Boston. Like there's another place like that that's down by it's not the Leverett connector. I don't it's down by like one of the big interchanges at the end of Starrow Drive, maybe, and it's just like it's got a big sign. It's like if you lived here, you'd be home by now.
Yeah,
and
but the trick is they're going to be charging like $2,500 a month in rent. It's like,
Right.
what the fuck, dude?
Yeah, well, yeah, and when they say multifamily housing here, what families? Like it's not going to be affordable to anybody who, whatever. I don't.
Like I have friends that live in a building nearby, and I think they own, but I don't want to even not that they would tell me,
right?
But I don't even want to know how fucking high their mortgage is for their one bedroom, mind you. Not that a one bedroom can be small. I mean, we live in a one bedroom and it's nice. It works for us, the two of us. Yeah. But Jesus Christ.
But my first apartment was a one bedroom, and it wasn't tiny, but it was small. So yeah, one bedrooms can vary very greatly, but whatever. I hope it doesn't happen, but it sounds like the writing's on the wall. But it's not on the sign. Not on the sign. They got leagues forming, fall leagues.
I hope that those fall leagues succeed, and then everybody continues to go there and fucking I don't know if going there is really I don't know. I mean, I want people to go. Please support the guy that owns the place up until the end, but. And hopefully the end doesn't come.
Right. Yeah.
I mean, eventually the end will happen. Like people will be completely disinterested
that's great.
in bowling because they can do it on the Wii.
Starts with birds and snakes and airplanes. And Lenny Bruce is not afraid.
Oh, God.
You can find the show notes for this episode at clarkwoods.com/hot/110, as I said before.
Route 110.
Route 110. We didn't even talk about that.
Maybe next time.
Maybe I don't know. Then it'll be 111. I don't know. There's not really anything to say about that's in New Hampshire, right?
Yeah.
I don't think there's one in Massachusetts. Anyway, if you have anything to say about this episode or anything, the things that we've said, if you're a big Reddit fan and you caught me throw that dig in there, you can send your responses to hot@clarkwoods.com. That's the email address.
And you could email me. Oh, wait, no.
you can
email me directly to my private. No, fuck you.
No.
Or... But if you do want to message me...
yes, message.
If you want to send me a message, either private or otherwise, I prefer, public messages. I don't want some weird, creepy private message.
I don't like it when I'm DM'd. That's too close.
It's fine if it's somebody I know, and they don't want to have the conversation that they're having in public, but
Yeah.
But if it's somebody I don't know, I don't want to get a private message. How about that? So if you know me, that's fine. If you don't, fuck you. But you can find me on Twitter at TuesdayIsLoser. That's Tuesday, IS Loser, all one word.
And you can find me on Twitter. I am at ECC1977, and indicative of the year of my birth, because I am a good old-fashioned Gen Xer. And y'all forgot about me.
Not Generation Schlitz.
Yeah, you forgot about me. Don't forget about Dre. I think he's also a Gen Xer.
And don't forget to bring ducks to Lanes and Games.